right, welcome to Patscast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. I'm Matt.
I'm Chris.
And we are a proud member of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network. This is our show for December 8th, 2019.
Pats would it. Daly will go right point for Wooding. A shot tipped and they score! Austin Pratt sends him flying! 14 seconds later. Figured, isn't that just the way it has to work? And now they come back flying out on the rest of the Teddy Bears, and lots of coming back out on the ice that we're probably not even back in the stands yet.
Okay, we're going to kick it off. We're going to follow our standard format, going through the games. We'll start with the Winnipeg game on Friday night. We'll have to be honest here. That was the same night the Oregon Ducks were playing the Pac-12 championship, so we had both games streaming live, and unfortunately, with the Winnipeg feed, you don't get a replay. So we kind of were trying to keep an eye on both. The Oregon game was awesome. Going to the Rose Bowl, if anyone's wondering. But unfortunately, with that Winnipeg feed, you don't see replays. So we were kind of trying to watch them both, and couldn't we maybe see them celebrating?
Yeah, we kind of missed the goals, a few of them. I'm like, oh, they're celebrating. I mean, it was Winnipeg.
When we were getting scored on, yeah.
Yeah.
But luckily, got to see that last little bit, and then into the overtime. And
yeah, unfortunately, they lost. But by all accounts, it seemed like it wasn't the greatest game.
Yeah, we'll take Scott's word on this. He said it was a pretty lackluster game until that last 90 seconds when they pulled out 2 goals. Riley Crane got both, actually. I don't know. I mean, in the end, I guess you're happy to get a point out of it, right?
Yeah, if you're getting a point out of a game that we didn't really show up, I guess we'll take it.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, exactly. We didn't think Paddock was be playing that game, but apparently, I don't know, that one lineup we saw had Busky playing.
Yeah,
but
the wrong lineup.
Yeah,
the team put out.
Yeah, but Paddock played that game. I don't know what the shots were in that game. I know we did give up 42.
Oh, okay.
So, kind of staying standard with those amount of shots.
Yeah, and you look at their Winnipeg was 2 for 6 on the power play, and we didn't even get one opportunity.
Yeah, to not even get one.
Yeah, that's a little
unfortunate,
and the power play has been hot. We'll get into that later, but it's picked itself up, so that's good.
Yeah. And then, to take a penalty in overtime.
Yeah, that's tough. 4-on-3 is pretty. It's pretty prime for scoring.
Yeah. But like we said, nice to get a point out of it when it was looking like we wouldn't. Kind of keeping up with a bit of that upswing that we've been seeing over the last little while with this team, and I guess you can say, fighting to the end. Down 2-0. And you're looking at 90 seconds left.
Yeah, and to score 2.
Yeah, that's pretty good. If it was 1 goal, you'd think, okay, we got a chance. 2, realistically, You're not thinking. At least I'm not, as a observer, a fan. Good on the team for doing that and fight until the end. We've seen that with this team, but to actually get some results now, pretty good. Now, fortunately, since we are back at home, Chris did manage to get a few good interviews this week. We'll lead it off with Robbie Holmes, mostly because he played his 200th game on Friday in Winnipeg, and you got some good words from him. So why don't we? Now this is after the Saturday game, so there's a bit of both, but we just thought it'd be a good time to lead into Robbie here.
First of all, Robbie, 200 games in this league, what did that kind of mean to you to get last time around?
Yeah, it means a lot. I played quite a bit of meaningful games too as well, and it's been a great experience, and I've never traded for anything.
What was it like when Austin Pratt scored the goal, but it didn't count there, and then you see all the teddy bears flying, even though it's not a goal?
Yeah, no, that was definitely a different situation than I think we thought it was going to go out, and no, it was pretty neat though. But it was awesome for him to score the next shift too.
How big was this win after that long road trip and the way it kind of ended there in Winnipeg?
Yeah, that's a huge win, especially against Red Deer. Those are meaningful games, and we're trying to catch teams in the standings, and we just got to take care of every game from now.
This was the last time you're playing them, but you guys had a lot of success against Red Deer this year. Any reason why?
No, I think we always come out and play against them. They're also a hard-working team, and we stick to our game, and it seems like it works out.
You guys were very aggressive when you were down there, and you didn't make it easy for them to get out. Was that something that Coach kind of wanted you guys to focus on?
Yeah, Dave, he really wanted us to get pucks in there on their D and work down low, and it works out, and we just stuck to it.
Getting some goals on the road trip there, you get some more confidence. Your game's running to form. How do you kind of carry that into the rest of the season, being more consistent here?
Yeah, I struggled a little bit earlier with production, and everything's going well right now. And I've stuck to the same way I played all year. I'm just finding pucks and being in the right spot, and it's huge for my confidence as well. But you get confidence with success, so you just got to keep it going.
Yeah, getting that hat trick, how was that for you?
Yeah, I've never had one before. It's definitely a cool moment in my career, and especially with how this year's gone. And it was a really good feeling.
Great. So, that was leading into our next game here that we'll talk about. This game coming up to it, we kind of thought it was going to be. When we play Red Deer, we seem to play some of our best games, I find.
Yeah, they're kind of on a similar talent level, so it's good to see that. It's a decent game, and they're like, I think they know that it's like, okay, we can win this game. We've got a great chance.
Yeah.
And we went 3-0-1 against them, so that was nice to see. We picked up 7 of a possible 8 points, so you can't argue with that. And Pratt's done well against them. It's his ex-team too, so
right. Yeah,
it was nice to see him scoring again.
Yeah, and so we were alluding to it last week was our little. It was gimmicky. Our gimmick here with the teddy bear toss leading in this game, and it's always a fun game. Happy to be able to get some big bears, and we got a little bit of promo on them. I know the Wolf came over and took a picture of them. Seemed a lot of kids were interested in them, so we wanted to get them on the ice, and we saw Crane picked up ours, and I think Denemy as well picked up our other one. Yeah, I mean it's such a fun night, and we can't not talk about the fake false goal though. I think we even talked about it last year. It's like, oh, wouldn't it be funny or crabby or whatever if it was a goal and it was called back? And yeah, that's exactly what we were standing right at that end with the
clearly
Bears.
No goal.
It was not even close. And then the red light went on. So that was wrong right there. And then the smoke and lights and then the song. I was like, oh, my God.
And then once the Bears start coming, I'm like,
yeah, you said you can't stop this. It's like,
you're just going to have to let it go. They did stop it eventually.
Just a natural phenomenon. You can't stop it. It's just going.
Yeah.
And even after they announced, don't throw your Bears, there's still freaking people throwing them. And they kept going. It was just like...
But they cleaned it up pretty quick.
Yeah, so we got to talk about that. I'm super impressed. I know it was kind of split over 2, but that crew, I know they had some kids there picking stuff up and cleaning, and they had it cleared up fast. It was minutes. I think last year felt like quite a bit longer. And we went to Moose Jaws as well last year, and it felt like a long time too.
Yeah.
I don't know how much splitting it up in 2 helped that, but
well, yeah, they were even handing them back out, and you could see to the people just right by the glass to throw back when they actually scored. So,
but it wasn't even close to being a goal. I don't know what that guy behind there got.
I know him. I'll ask him.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
So I know him on a personal level, like not even like to do with
the goal judge there.
Yeah. I know him like out of hockey.
Okay.
So
yeah,
next time I see
you
him,
have to give him a bit of
bit
of the gears.
Because the other guy I know, he was doing goal judging one night, and I don't think he hit the goal light, but the smoke and lights went off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I texted him, I'm like, oh, quick trigger there. He's like, no, I didn't hit the goal light, and I don't think they're like related, but or intertwined.
Yeah, I would hope. I would think because those guys are hired. They're WHL staff.
Yes,
right?
they are WHL staff. They're not Pat staff.
Okay. Yeah. So it was hard because after that we kind of were in the social media biz trying to get all the pictures and videos and stuff up because it was a pretty fun little segment part of the game, and then we finally got to sit down and watch the game, and actually it was a really pretty well played game by the Pats. the first goal against was, frankly, a nice goal. Not much you could do there.
Yeah, and you watched the replay because it was at the far end for us, but it was a great pass from the point back door.
Yeah.
And then Tarswell found a way to get it through. I don't know if it hit the post first and then off Paddock and in. It was tough. It was on the other side of where the camera was.
Yeah.
There was no reverse feed. But yeah, he snuck it in and it was a nice goal.
Yeah. And then the second goal, that felt like one Paddock could have wanted back, I think. But in the end, don't have to dwell on it because the team bailed him out and got 3 goals for a regulation win, which was awesome. And it was kind of, we were sitting there watching the last few seconds. I thought, we were on the other end of this against Red Deer and pulled it out. So I'm glad.
Yeah, they had a couple good chances at the end there.
Yeah, and actually the third period, Paddock didn't make those sensational highlight saves, but he made some really obviously important saves, but some solid, good saves. So
in that third period, Red Deer had 14 shots. That's the only team or either teams to have more than 10 shots in a period. So it wasn't a ton of great scoring chances in the whole game. It was
it wasn't. Was it? It was just kind of.
It was just a back and forth, not a super
flashy
skilled,
or highlight filled game, but post game, I know you were down doing interviews, but post game with who was it, Haroff or I forget which one.
Was Strush?
No, sorry, on the drive home, like the radio.
Oh
feed.
yeah, okay.
They're saying these are the games. We're not gonna have those highlight amazing goals. It's gonna be these types of games. So
and Strush alluded to that in his interview that we'll hear coming up. But the first 2 goals were just points from the shots from the point and tip ins, right? The Pratt goal and then who scored the second goal there?
Cole, wasn't it?
No, Englot there. That was just a tip.
Englot, yeah.
The Cole one was a nice on the power play, but yeah, the Englot and the Pratt were both just tips in front of the net. Just guys going to the net, getting their sticks on the puck, and good things happening, right?
Yeah, I'm looking at the stars of the game. So Pratt, obviously, whoever scores the teddy bear goal, I think, is usually first. And then Whitting had 2 assists, and I'm trying to. Zach Smith.
No, in the building, it was Tarswell got the third star.
Oh, okay. I wonder why he's on there.
Yeah, anyways, I know.
The WHL site has Zach Smith as a 3rd star, and I'm looking through the stats. And I'm like, why did he get that?
We can bring up 3 stars maybe later.
Why don't we right now? Because we were talking on Twitter. We were talking about we need to get some controversy in this show, and I know it's not controversy between us, but it's certainly something controversial. I'll be Tony. You be Wilbon.
Kornheiser and Wilbon here.
Yeah, you start it. Yeah.
Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, there was a memo that OHL sent out to all their member teams, and they said, "Be more considerate on the 3 stars." Like, I don't know if it was homerism or what's going on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, what was it? I don't know what day it was, but Moose Jaw, they lost 7-3. And they had all 3 stars, I think. And the 3rd star didn't get a goal. or an assist. Or an assist.
Yeah.
Or even a shot on net. And it was like, it was
because it was
Red
a home
Deer.
game, obviously.
Yeah, it was a Moose Jaw home game. It was against Red Deer. So it would have been like Wednesday night maybe there. Red Deer.
Yeah, here
Moose
it
Jaw.
is.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, 3rd star. Oh, see on the website it's changed.
Okay. So I wonder if they do a different. We got to investigate that
because that's not what it was earlier. Because Archdeep Baines, who had 2 goals and an assist, ended up getting the 3rd star of the night from the WHL, and he wasn't even a star
like
in the house.
So the night.
Yeah,
star.
WHL.
Yeah, not just yeah.
But
so the in-house stars of the game were 3 Moose Jaw players.
Yeah.
The final star didn't even have a point, and this is a 7-3 loss.
Yeah. How do you get all 3 stars in a 7-3 loss? I could see maybe 1.
But Moose Jaw's been notorious for this.
Oh yeah, they're terrible.
Just homer hard.
Yeah. And don't even get me started on Moose Jaw because I'll just being Moose Javian again.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit more about Moose Jaw, and actually they're in our
Wheelhouse
sites
right
here now.
Yeah.
We're looking they're 2 points ahead of us.
Yeah.
They have a game in hand on us, but they are...
Look at that streak.
Right.
9.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about too. We're on a bit of a better trajectory than Moose Jaw's last 10 is 1-9.
Yeah.
Right? And our last 10, 4-5-1.
Yeah. So 9 points to their 2.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and we've now surpassed Swift Current.
And PG.
Yeah. Right.
If we could have got, a couple more wins at the start of the year there, the first couple
those close ones. And those are the close ones we're starting to win now.
Yeah,
we could almost be a little bit lower than 500 team probably right now.
Yeah. Instead of like 10 games.
It's the start.
Yeah.
And
really,
I mean, we'll never get
out of that hole.
No, that's just too deep. It's too deep.
Yeah.
But I hope the guys have got past that, and I think we have some good interviews here after this game. So after the Red Deer game, Chris got a chance to get some good ones with. We'll kick it off with Pratt. I liked what he had to say about scoring that goal, and then he goes in to talk a little bit more.
So Austin, you scored a teddy bear goal twice tonight in theory. Run me through the first one when it wasn't a goal. Kind of seeing those. What was that like?
I thought it was in right away because of the angle. I saw it the last second. It went bar down, but not the good way, I guess. So I don't know. It was one of those things. I had a feeling I was going to score. So as much as been better just to get it all in one shot. I knew that I was going to get the next one just because I had a feeling.
What was it like to stand out there when it wasn't a goal and seeing all those teddy bears? We saw a couple of players trying to give them back out to the fans and everything.
It was more funny than anything, I mean, everyone just wanted to throw them out there. That's why most of the young kids come to the game. We see the goal, throw them out there. So I think they're all just so excited that they didn't even listen to anyone. They just started talking them.
It's probably funny since we got it anyway right after that.
Yeah, it was funny. 100%.
So what was it like when you finally got the goal that counted and all of a sudden the teddy bears started to come out there for you?
Oh, that was awesome. It was something I wanted to do since I came in this league, to score one of the teddy bear toss goals, and I did it.
This was your 5th teddy bear toss game?
Yep.
So long time coming,
overdue, I think, yeah.
So what was it like to finally play in front of the home fans? Because it's been since November 20th.
It was awesome. I mean, we always get such good fans here. They're always engaged, and it's tough going on the road, especially with all the games we played as of late. It felt like forever since being back in the Brandt Center, and we're happy to be here.
What was it like to finally get a win as well here?
Oh, it was awesome. I thought the game in Winnipeg was we played good. It just came down to a little whatever you can call that game. And then tonight, we knew we weren't going to lose.
And so I guess you guys were very aggressive when you were in there and you weren't letting them get it out easy. Was that something that Coach Strush has kind of instilled in you guys and kind of made a goal for you?
Yeah, for sure. We're a really good team below the hash marks. Our D do good at getting the pucks on net when we give it to them. So, that's really our game plan. That's why we chip so many pucks in, because we have so many hard-working forwards that will get the puck backs and just make it hard on, their D, like Bartow. He's an unbelievable player, one of the best in the league. So you just got to get on like a guy like that all night, or else he's going to do damage.
And it must have felt good to not give up 40 shots tonight to Max.
Yeah. At the end there, Max, he came out when we needed him, really. He's been a brick wall for us, and that's the major reason why we are winning and doing everything and trying to catch teams right now is Max is one of the biggest reasons.
That road trip, you guys picked up some wins, getting some confidence now. You scored some goals. How does it feel now? You can translate that back here at home.
Yeah, it's really good. I mean, we're starting to kind of score. The other night was kind of a good test of how we don't give up. So we got those 2 late goals, and it's starting to come around for us. I mean, we've given ourselves a chance, I think, in every game. Maybe besides the PA loss, that was like 6-1. I believe that's the only game that we haven't given ourselves a chance to win. So, it's been awesome to finally see some results going in our way. Yeah, it's never easy going out to Alberta. I mean, their fans are really good out there. I mean, they make every game tough, no matter what day it is. If it's a Tuesday, they're gonna have a good crowd. So it's a test to how resilient our group is, and I really I was really impressed with how he did. We got a younger team again, and the young guys are really stepping up and they're doing what they need to do, and they're pushing the older guys, and then I think everyone's just responding in a great way and starting to gel.
So with some home games before Christmas, how important is it to make get some wins here where you haven't got a lot of them?
Yeah, this will be a really good test for us. So we got some of the best teams coming in from Kamloops, Kelowna, and then Winnipeg's a good team. So it'll be a really good test before the Christmas break, and if we can grind out a few wins, it'll be it's huge going into the Christmas break happy, and it just makes you want to come back that much faster.
I was so happy for him to get the goal. That was awesome. Like you said, he's been part of 5 to get it. I mean, you could tell when they were playing so hard to get that first goal. Everyone was just
shooting from any
spot,
any angle.
Like you said, there's not going to be too many passes right now. It's going to be a lot of people going for the goals, and
Pratt, he's a really good interviewer. I enjoy interviewing him. He's always got something decent to say. He isn't like pucks in deep, right? Like he's older too, so it helps. And
do you know? And they interviewed Whitting. He's a well-spoken kid too.
Yeah.
I
haven't talked to him lately.
Yeah, he'd be worth. He's a good.
When I've talked to him like his first game here, he was pretty good. We'll hit Cole up now this time.
Yeah.
So I just want to talk to you because you scored on the power play, which is getting where the power play hasn't been clicking all season long. Do you guys feel like you're starting to come around there?
Yeah, we made a little tweaks here and there, and I think we got the right guys, and we've been moving it really well. Obviously, the last couple of games we haven't had much opportunity. Last game in Winnipeg, we had no power plays at all, but today I think it went pretty good. So.
I guess, what's it like to finally get back home to the Brand Center and get a win here?
It's good. Yeah, I mean, the Alberta trip was pretty long, and I mean, last night obviously was long. Got back at 5 a.m. It was a pretty quick turnaround. It's nice to play in front of the home crowd, but it definitely feels good to be at home for a little while here.
What was it like for you to see Austin Pratt's first goal get called off, and he scores a couple seconds later, especially with the teddy bears flying?
Yeah, it was a little disappointing, that it got called. Well, I mean, it didn't go in. He had it between his legs, but and then everybody threw the teddy bears. But I mean, it still ended up pretty good. I hope that everybody had a good time. All the fans didn't throw all their teddy bears too early, but yeah, it was awesome to get another one right away.
We saw some of the players trying to throw the teddy bears back over the glass. Were you one of those guys?
Yeah, it was me and a couple other guys. We got in a little bit of trouble from the ref for that. I guess we're not allowed to do that, but they just wanted us to help take them off. I was thinking just throw them back over so they could have them
again. Getting those new guys in like Chorney, Denemy, they've injected some life into this team a bit.
Yeah, no, I think our team has progressively gotten better with the trades that we've made, and I think they're great locker room guys and they're great on ice guys. I think they're a great addition. Obviously, Dens has been awesome for our power play, and Shorns is a really skilled forward as well. And I think all the trades we've made have really helped us out.
How important are these next couple home games? You get some home games before the Christmas break here to kind of go into that break on a winning note.
Yeah, looking at some of the other teams in the standings, I mean, these next couple games here before Christmas are huge for us. Obviously, tonight was nice to get 4 points, and I think that we're gonna catch up with the other bottom teams, and hopefully by the end of the season can get a playoff spot.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah, have a good night.
So he was talking about putting the Bears back to the fans, and they're not allowed to do that.
No. So again, in another reference to the OHL, I can't remember the guy's name now. Mine's blanking. Anyway, so throwing anything over the glass is an instant 5-game suspension, no questions asked.
Yeah. Even if it's teddy bears for kids.
Yeah.
Maybe
so
not quite.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a different thing, but anything. So what happened right at the end of the period? A foam puck got thrown onto the ice, unintentionally, maybe, or intentionally, whatever happened. But so what he did was he used his stick and he flipped it over the glass back into the crowd, and that was instant game ejection and 5-game suspension. And they ended up reducing it to 1 game because it was a foam puck and kind of the circumstances. But it would have been okay if he would have picked it up and put it over the glass, I guess. But shooting it into the crowd was the problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they just want to get away from like throwing stuff into the crowd, right? Like that's obviously for whatever reason. Yeah, so they kind of got in trouble there, and I mean it was harmless, but there's you know, I don't know what the WHL rule is, but either way,
they probably also wanted to get things, expedite things.
Yeah.
Instead of spitting, they didn't want to. Okay, now everyone's gonna get their bears, but he just want to say probably, okay, sorry guys, this guy screwed it up, jumped the gun.
Yeah,
sorry, you're not getting your bears back. Some of them got back the way I saw, but yeah.
So one topic there he talked about was the power play, and the power play's really picked up. You know, Denemy's on there; he's brought some talent, some skill.
Yeah,
and so the power play started 8 for 82 in the first 19 games. Like that's rough. That was real rough. So since then, it's 10 for 29. Like that's huge jump. It went from 10% to 30%, 33%. So we're up to 18th in the league now at 16%. So that's not
bad.
No, not at all. Yeah. Right? We were in the basement. We were at that 10%, and now it's really come around here. These last 8 games.
You know, I think, and we've been saying that it felt like for a while. The team, the record wasn't a reflection of this team.
Yeah.
Right? Because we saw this team last year. We saw them. They ended the season better. They should have been, you know, they're older. They've had some more time. They had training camp. Like, it was, and we said it was this start of the season was really pretty disappointing. Not that we expected, you know, playoffs maybe, like, was a long shot. I mean, in reality, we always hope for better, but really, maybe we would get the last wild card and play the number 1 seed and lose. But, you know, it was an actual, not a total, you know, out of the reach idea. Like, you know, looking at the rest of the league and some opportunities. But I think we're starting to see it now, and we're seeing some better games, some outcomes now that are favorable. Things are working. Power plays are working. It's not like a instant goal when we take a penalty.
Yeah. Well, and the penalty kills 13th. Like that's reasonable. That's mid-pack.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
So there's nothing wrong with that. It's up to 79.2%. So
and to have this with the team, and let's be honest, where these guys, you know, you can look through your thing, how they're built. There isn't that top-end organic talent.
Yeah, exactly.
It's through hard work. Some people may disagree, but it's through coaching and hard work right now that I think they're seeing some of these results.
And Paddock's coming around here. Like Paddock,
we
talked about
and we've said it all year. This team is going to live and die on the back of Paddock.
And he's stepped up. So I don't know if you want to go right into Strush, and he kind of talks about all this stuff. Yeah, I think
so. I like Strush had a good interview.
Yeah, and again, he does have a really good interview. He has really good long answers. It's kind of nice. Like he actually thinks about it.
It's like he lives and breathes.
Yeah.
Which he does.
I mean, some coaches are just like, yeah, okay, you know.
Like they could Belichick it.
Yeah, exactly.
But he really
about Cleveland next week.
Yeah,
So
he really, and I always get a positive impression from him too, that he's not, even though there's the losses and you know, and that's a good leader may do that. Like he may not do it publicly. In the dressing room, he might kind of be hard on them, or at least the guy, but he never throws anyone under the bus.
No,
publicly.
No, not at all. So, I mean, and there's that whole coaching thing that's coming out into the public now, but yeah, that's a whole nother avenue. But he's always putting a positive spin on things, which is nice to see publicly anyways.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's well deserved for the players. I know it's going to be a broken record because we played really well on the road. I know the Edmonton game was a lopsided victory, but for the most part, they were road warriors. The guys played every game like it meant a lot to us, and we started talking about it a couple games in about climbing the ladder, and we're doing it. And it's when we get back home here now, it's a good feeling, good hard game. Where we were behind early, we stuck with it. We had a good feeling on the bench, good feeling in the dressing room. We corrected some things, and we were back a little bit on our heels in the third period. But that's the game of hockey, you know. Red Deer's a team that's well coached, and they're going to work just as hard. They have the same game plan as us, is to try and outwork the opponent, match the work ethic. So our guys did it. Our goaltender played well for us. Our power play scored again. So all in all, it was a good night for us.
How important is it to bring that success that you had on the road, bring it home, where you haven't won a lot of games this year?
It's big for the fans. It's big for the city, the organization. We looked at our record on the road, and you could see that it's disappointing at home. But we hope that this helps us build a little bit of momentum. We're playing against some good teams coming up here, and we need to build off of that for sure.
Were there a couple tonight that one for sure that maybe Max would like to have back, but then at the end he was there when we needed him?
Absolutely, but I tell you what, the way he's played for us as of late, the players, in the past we talk about energy takers. Those would have been energy takers. Our guys have seen him play so good the last couple of weeks that they were there to play hard for him, start to finish, and that just built up the energy that we needed. So that was one thing. We talk about building trust within the group, and we talk about different types of team builders that can take place. A couple of those goals, well, the 2 goals probably he wants back, but our guys were committed right from start to finish, and he played really, really well after that. So it's good that it didn't get in his head. He worked just as hard as everybody else.
In the other end of the ice, how important was it the way you guys caused some havoc in front of their net? You found a way to get pucks and bodies there and created some problems for them.
Yeah, well, that's a thing that we talk about how we're going to score. We're not a fancy team. We know that. We know that we have to score by committee. Our power play has been a bonus for us as of late. It's not always going to be like this, but we've talked about our 5-on-5 getting better, and we needed that here tonight.
How nice was it to once again get a goal on the power play? Like I said, it's come around recently.
Yeah, and it's been really simple. It's just we're doing the same things as before. The puck's going in, the guys are bearing down that much more. We talk about crashing the net, getting in the blue paint, so that when those shots do get there, whether or not they're straight in or we have to battle for it, there is pressure there. We're occupying eyes and bodies, and it's giving us an opportunity. It's just the same thing. You can look at it with Max. He's been giving us an opportunity to win games every night. When we score in our power play, it gives us another opportunity. It increases our chances. Now we get a couple on 5-on-5 and get victories.
Scoring some goals on that road trip, getting the confidence back into the team here, or getting some results from the work effort that they are putting in. Like, is that what they feel like they're coming around now? Like,
yeah, for sure. I mean, it is, again, back to the broken record. We talk about the process all the time. We're in a position where we don't think we need to change a whole bunch. We know where we are in the build and the personnel, but we need to use what we have in there, the work ethic, the character, the leadership, for us to have success. And we're comfortable with it. Our players are comfortable with it. They're coming around. They're all bought into it. And we are going to make mistakes. We know that. But limit those mistakes daily and give us a chance.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's kind of what we were saying was teams working hard, they're going to make some mistakes. It seems like they're be able to absorb a few more of the mistakes.
Yeah.
Maybe, right? With Max playing better and it's nice to hear. I just like the positivity that he brings.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's realistic about the expectations, and yeah, we'll see where we go from here. Right? Yeah. Now, you say you have the trivia again this week.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was doing that Strush article about Hockey Canada and Dale Hunter, and it was kind of an interesting status on Wikipedia, so I assume it's correct. Can't say for sure, but
we'll go with it.
So it's kind of...
Do you have the question first?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he was replaced as... I don't know. It's kind of a weird stat. So he was replaced not only as captain, but as head coach by the same person. I don't know if
replaced as captain, so as a player.
Yeah.
And then by head coach.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's the
okay,
same.
let me read through this, and then I might be able to talk through it. Anyways, the Saskatchewan Podcast Network is supported by Connexus. Next time you're stuck in traffic, waiting for that train on Ring Road there, some things you want to think about instead of the car in front of you that's going too slow, or the car behind you is trying to ride on your hitch and on your bumper. So some things to think about. What if your bank was committed to working with you to achieve your goals? What if they cared enough to get to know you? What if they weren't successful unless you were? What if your financial well-being drove everything they did? Come see why things are different at Connexus. Stop by any branch to learn more about how Connexus cares. So he was replaced. So was he replaced? Is this an NHL or is this in junior?
Oh yeah, sorry, it's in the NHL.
So when he played with the
Capitals.
Okay.
So and it's the same team. That's the thing. So he played.
Okay, who is replaced? Tim Hunter?
No. Dale Hunter.
Dale
Hunter. The coach is the London Knights, the Team Canada head coach, right?
I was thinking Tim. I was going to say the Flames, and then who is replaced? Okay.
Yeah, no, sorry. So we'll go Washington. It was the same team. So he was the captain of this team.
Yeah.
So Dale Hunter.
Yeah.
Washington.
Okay.
And then he got replaced by this player.
Yeah.
And then he coached Washington for one season, took a break from London, went to Washington for one season, and then he went back to London. And the same guy took over as head coach from him.
For the Caps.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's a name you'll know, but I don't know if you'll get it because I don't know. That was kind of weird. I was like, oh, the same guy replaced him as captain and head coach. I don't know if that's happened before or what. I didn't look into it, but I thought, oh, that's kind of interesting.
I just can't.
Yeah, it's tough, but Adam Oates. Yeah. So
I can't remember him coaching. Did he coach for a while?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, I don't know for how long. I don't know if he's still coaching or maybe assistant coach now, but yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a neat
for the same team.
Yeah, same team, same guys.
So they both moved on to coaching after being the captain.
Yeah,
that doesn't seem like a recipe for success.
Yeah, I mean, so in that one season, so Hunter came in not midway, but early in the season. He left London and then coached like 60 games for Washington and then went back to London. So I don't think he was interested in being in the NHL. He wanted to be back in London. But yeah, but that was interesting.
Yeah, that is actually. That's a good one. Okay, now also being part of the Saskatchewan Podcast Network, we've made a few connections, and we want to try and promote some of our fellow podcasters in the province. One that we've kind of connected with was the Rebellion podcast. We both have developed a taste for their beer.
Yeah,
I would say, and it's always nice to support a local brand.
Yeah, they're doing some good stuff. Like there's all sorts of different stuff out there for beer drinkers. I mean, we had a new one Friday night.
I can't even keep up with all the brews they're putting.
Well, I know they do some kind of like limited editions, just small brews. So if you miss it, you miss it, right? And so we had a newer one to us. Friday night was the Fest beer. It's like a German lager, and it was good.
That was nice.
Yeah.
And you know, there's people sitting around going, "Oh, I don't like craft beer. I don't like craft beer." You started off as a
I just drank. Yeah, we talked
Bud
about
Light,
it before.
Coors Light,
and whatever's out there, cheap stuff.
Yeah, it wasn't really until we kind of got to know them that you started to broaden your horizons and had a few of their samplers. And I mean, you can go from a Bud Light or a Coors Light or Canadian to the Lentil.
The Lentil,
I think, is pretty entry level.
Yeah, the
for
Cerveza.
them. And then there's Cerveza. That's super easy drinking. I don't drink that one as much in the summer or the winter, I'm finding.
Yeah, I had one on Friday as well, the Cerveza.
They're good, but they're really good in the summer.
Yeah, it's a nice crisp.
Yeah,
crisp beer.
Yeah, that's their equivalent to a Corona.
Actually, they're just coming up with something kind of off the Cerveza. It's more going to be like a, not dark, but maybe more of a brownish off the cerveza that's
Oh,
coming
okay.
out.
Okay.
So, yeah, listening to their podcast, I don't always listen to the guest, but their podcast is good because they do talk to many local, they get all whatever subject they're going on, but it's mostly local. Talk about a different beer every episode, so it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
so I'll
Yeah.
listen to it and see what kind of beer they're drinking, and maybe it's something I want to try next time.
Yeah,
And
and
it's
they
not
feel
always just Rebellion. It's
true.
they
Yeah,
do.
when we were on, we had was it a Pile of Bones or
Yeah, I can't remember now.
I forget what it was. Yeah,
But yeah, they got no problem supporting the other breweries as well. It's kind of give and take.
do we have a clip of theirs to play?
Yeah, so there we got.
They're kind of. He really adapts to his guest. Depends what his guest is talking about. He lets. He interviews them, but. It's totally different than ours, right? We talk about the same damn thing every time.
Yeah.
His is just dramatically different depending on the guest. I mean, we were on there, so go from that to...
They were talking about Filipino food a couple episodes
yeah,
ago.
or they were talking about Regina or the downtown revitalization. And
Yeah.
It's just a much more variety than we have. But
yeah. And I don't always listen to the guest sometimes if it doesn't interest me, but I'll give it a shot. And
yeah, the first little bit is always a beer that you can talk about and learn a little bit about, and something a little different. So
yeah, here's a little clip from one of the recent episodes that we'll play.
I hope I don't burn out on Baby Yoda. Is that even possible at this point? I know it is, knock on wood. But I think they're doing a lot of really good things with them. Now here's something else I want to touch on too, is the practical effects and the blurring of the line, where I don't know when he's a puppet and when he's not a puppet. I think when he is CG, they're actually moving him like a puppet would move. And it's still giving that realistic aspect. It's giving that old school Star Wars feel. They're using a lot more puppets and practical effects in all these films. The first firefight in the first episode, so many practical explosions.
good. So actually, we got our Twitter feed working again. I figured out what it was. And actually, the first part of the audio won't be as good. So if you are watching this on Twitter or YouTube, just know you can go download the podcast if you want a little bit better audio. It was coming through the laptop rather than the mixer and in. So that's why it wasn't working.
Yeah.
Figured it out live. This is what we do when we do it live, folks. You get what you get.
Yeah, we're still working on it. Too many chords and inputs and outputs, and
it really is, man. There was a podcast meetup a little while ago CBC put on, and unfortunately I didn't go. I had a little breakout of shingles, and I didn't want to spread that everywhere. I didn't really know how I could be out in public, but turned out I could have been. But regardless, it's there's a lot to learn and a lot going on with this, and adding the live element it's been a fun challenge. I think it's actually it's a little different and keeps us on our toes.
Yeah, I think it's helped us step up our game a bit.
Yeah, it's good
as well.
And we do see that the chat's kind of working. It seems to be working through Twitter. Yeah. I don't know. I'm about done with Facebook. I've never really liked Facebook. As anything. It's just, but we'll see. If you really want to interact with us, go on the Twitter feed, and that seems to work a lot better. And it seems to be working live now, which is great. Well, let's get into just talking about next week a little bit. A couple big game, in my opinion, big games. Some good teams coming through here, and I think this will be a bit of a test to see where we're at. Now, are we expecting to win these? I don't know. I'd like to really see some competitive games against these two guys, though, or these two teams, Kamloops and Kelowna.
Yeah, and we've seen in the past we've played up to some competition. Like we beat PA there. We struggled a little bit on the road trip in the Edmonton, and we've lost big in PA. But it seems at home like we can play up to these guys.
I think so. I think that might be. So we were looking. Both these teams they're on the road trip right now. So this might be actually Kamloops getting close to the end, and Kamloops and Kelowna as well. So we might be able to catch them a little bit on maybe getting tired or a little leery of the road.
Mm-hmm.
Additionally, Connor Zeri was just added to the invitee list for the juniors.
Yep.
So we're questioning if he will be there, and that goes for Foot as well.
Yeah, so they're both. I think they're both going to miss because I'm sure they'll be gone by early in the week.
Which kind of a shame because I did want to see him.
Yeah,
I wanted to see Zary.
That is unfortunate. You do want to see the best players playing, right?
Yeah,
and he's right up there, top 10 in scoring, and he's 17 or 18. Sorry.
Yeah. So I guess we can look at it from two ways: as a fan of hockey wanting to see him, but a fan of the Pats, maybe a bit of a better chance without those two guys. Guys here. Kelowna's they're going through some changes right now. They might kind of be like us when we were doing that. It takes a little while for them to gel together.
Yeah, they just made 2 big trades here this week. So
we could see. I don't know. It'll be nice. Obviously, a nice challenge for the team. The Pats,
see some different teams in the house too.
Yeah, and hoping for some good efforts. And you never know. If they play up to them like they can. If Max Paddock has a good game, and I think if we stay disciplined, I mean, this is so cliche, but stay disciplined and stay out of the box, it might actually have some good chance.
Yeah, we've had a few penalties the last couple of games. I think there was 7 in Winnipeg, or what did I say? 2 for 6 Winnipeg was. So, I mean, the PK's doing okay. Like I said, 13th. And I'd see Paddock probably playing all 3 of these games. There's a day break in between 3 and 5. I don't see him not playing all 3 of those. And then it's the break. Yeah, I wouldn't. He played, what did he play, 3 and 4?
I don't know, but he's had that, whatever it is, some lingering injuries.
Yeah, but he seems to be good now, right?
Yeah.
So,
but then he's got quite a while off.
Almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, afterwards going to the Christmas break. So
yeah, kind of.
People are probably getting tired
listening
to us by now.
A little bit of a longer one, but we had some good interviews. I think
absolutely. I think those. You're right, and they will go right into the podcast. So sorry, anyone listening to the live feed won't get that this time. But I'll just add another thing to the checklist to check before we go live, and that'll be better.
Yeah, the pre-show checklist is getting longer and longer. Before it was just like we do whatever. Oh, we can just re-record or redo it,
you
or
could just stop.
Edit it out. But no, this is live now. Live TV, live. Oh, there you go.
And the Seahawks game is on live right now.
And we're watching that.
It's a busy weekend, man. We had the Ducks going to the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
We got 2 Pats games. We got Seahawks on Sunday Night Football.
The Ducks game was good.
Ducks game was good. Actually, college football games are good this weekend, too.
I'm sure Darryl Romold was pumped to see that game. Put a beat down on Utah.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, so mark your calendars, Jan 1.
Yeah.
Right, it's the Rose Bowl.
Granddaddy of them all.
Yeah, it's always a good one.
Yeah,
we'll have to start a Ducks podcast.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I listened to one. I mean, not everybody's going to love us, but I listened to one. I downloaded one just to get some more. Because it's tough to get college football stuff in Canada, obviously, but it's the podcasts are out there. And the one I listened to was terrible. I was just like, oh, I like the Ducks, but I can't listen to these guys. It was unfortunate. But
that's the thing. Anyone can bloody well do these things. So.
Yeah.
You don't have to have any qualifications.
No, you don't.
Obviously.
We don't. So hopefully most people, like I say, we haven't got too much bad feedback.
It's fun, and it's just a hobby.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
We're having fun with it. So
yeah, and I think the next episode will be good. We're going to have Kevin on again.
Yes, Kevin, he's sort of our resident start, mid, and end of the season guest to have on, and I think that'll be great. So.
Yeah, and I think we got to incorporate him into more shows, I think. With his history side of stuff.
And we've talked about it before, but his Twitter account that he has is awesome. Yeah. He says he has some newspaper app or something. I don't know what it is, some website, and he can get
old newspapers.
Yeah, and like pretty obscure things he can pull up. So pretty good, worth the follow for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, let's wrap it up. Some good efforts. Fun teddy bear toss. That was a fun game to be at, always is. Super glad that Austin Pratt was the teddy bear goal scorer. And now we're leaning into 2 very good teams coming in, and it should be a good test for the team, the Pats that is, this week. And we'll get an idea if we can carry that momentum and kind of the path this team is going. We'll see how this is this week. All right, well, we will see you guys at the rink then.
Have a good night.
All right, good night.
32 seconds left. Holmes, right circle to the middle with it. Wait, shoot, passing, rebound.